What's going on, YouTube? This is your man, Star Giovanni. Most of y'all don't know me, so before we get into this story, let me give y'all a little bit of background, everything that I'm about, and why this story is valid. So, I'm a recording artist. I've been a recording artist all my life, and the story that I'm about to tell you is about the time when I was signed to an independent record company down here in Baltimore, Maryland, and I had to put hands on my manager. Now, let me give you a little bit of background on this story and how it came to this. So, I was signed to a company. I'm not going to say their name, but yeah, these guys were true dirtbags. I'm talking about the dirtiest of the dirtbags. Like, these dudes would just do things that just didn't make sense in the music industry as far as representing an artist. So, let's take it to day one. I seen a Craigslist ad, and they were like, hey, we need artists to do the show, blase, blase, opportunities after the fact. You're going to be on a record with Donnie Klang from Day 26. Now, shout out to Diddy. Shout out Bad Boy Records and all that. But who in their right mind is chomping at the bit to do a song with a member of a group that nobody's really a fan of? This is the type of things that they would do. Or they would say, hey, we need an artist for such and such event, and if you win the event, then we're gonna go do a live audition for XYZ. Let's say Violator Management, right? Rest in peace, Chris Lighty. Let me tell you this story first, right? So the story goes, they needed an event artist. Well, they were having a competition, right? And if you got selected, then you would go to New York to audition for Violator Management. So I had a couple of homies that was in the industry as well. So we're at the nightclub one night. That's another funny story, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So we're in the nightclub, and I'm talking to my homeboy manager, and I'm like, yo, so my company said that they were going to go up to Violator Management, and they was going to have an audition, like a live audition, to see who would get managed by Violator. If you don't know who Violator Management is, they manage Busta Rhymes. Yeah. So these dudes is big time, like for real. Hold on, let me change the settings on my Pro Tools because it's showing me bars and not time right now. Okay. So I'm telling them, and I'm like, yo, like, how likely do you think this is that it's true? And he drops a gem on me, dude. Like I don't even know like why I didn't think of this. And he was like, yo, why don't you just call him? And I'm like, what? Like, I can't call Violator Management. Like, me call Violator Management? I don't even have their number. And he was like, bro, if you wanted to call a Walmart right now to ask them if they had something in stock, what would you do? I was like, I would probably Google Walmart's number. And he was like, bingo, nigga. Like, why don't you just Google Violator's office number, call them, and start asking questions? I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my mind is blown. I'm like, yo, holy shit. Yo, that is such a great idea. Thanks for the advice. So we finish out the night at the club. So the following afternoon, I grab my phone, I get on Google, and I Google Violator Management. When I call, the guy at the front desk answers the phone, and I lie to you not. This is how this conversation went. Violator Management. Hey, how can I help you? Hey, my name is such and such. Um, and I was told by a company that I'm signed to that we have an upcoming event to audition for you guys in New York for a management slot. Have you heard anything about this? The guy at the front desk goes, Nah, I don't believe I have. Hold on a second. Yo, I lied to you not. My right hand to the man. Rest in peace, Chris Lighty. He was on his way out of the office when I made this phone call. He puts the phone down for about a solid 5 to 8 seconds, right? The phone gets picked back up. Yes, hello, this is Chris Lighty, owner of Violator Management. I'm like, yo, holy shit, dog. Like, yo, this nigga is on the phone. So I compose myself and I'm like, hey, man, a company that I'm signed to, which is owned by a guy, redacted, named redacted, and he said that we had an audition coming up for you guys to see who would be managed by you guys. And he was like, I've never heard of him. Have him call me. I was like, all right, you have a good day, sir. Hangs the phone up. I never spoke about this with my manager, but I knew it was fraud. So he was already on my list of people not to trust. I don't like you. If you cross me, I might punch you. But I'm not a violent person. Like, even if you deserve to be hurt, I would deem that it's not my job to hurt you. So that happened probably about 6 to 8 months before I actually confronted him and had to put hands on him. So I'm working at a recording studio at the time as a recording engineer. So one of my clients comes in. He happens to be signed to the same company. He walks in, we're setting up his session. He like, yo, such and such, such and such. You know, down at the Five Seasons, they gonna have a show tonight. I'm like, word? Nobody told me. Nobody told me. And I'm like, kind of like trying to figure this out. And I'm like, why wouldn't anybody tell me that they were having a show? This is crazy. So he like, yo, let's do a song together and we can go down there, turn up, have a really good time, blah, 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 blah. All right, whatever. I'm with it. So it's me, one of my old acquaintances, and him, my client. We go down there. My client was on probation. I wanted to smoke. My homie wanted to smoke. But both of my homies was on probation. So my client had some K2 with him. And boy, oh boy, this was the first and the last time I smoked K2. So we walk up the block from the club. We're in the park. We roll up. We smoking. And if you never smoked K2 before, it is very, very different from weed. Number one, when you smoke weed, you get relaxed and your blood pressure lowers a little bit. When you smoke K2, your blood pressure is raised. Okay, so like that's just the basis of it. Like I'm not going to get into like super duper detail. Like I'm not Goblin. Like shout out to Goblin. He has the best drug stories. But anyway, we're smoking this fucking K2, right? I probably get baked like halfway through the second rotation. There's only 3 of us. So I am baked out my face. We go back to the club. I see my manager. He's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to see you tonight. And I'm like, yeah, man, me and such, we got a good set put together for you. Bop, 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 bop. We gonna do a bunch of fly shit. All that. So he says, okay, cool. So when such and such and such and such get off the stage, then it's going to be such and such, then it's going to be such and such, then I'm going to call y'all up to the stage. Okay, cool. So we go back in the club, we vibing, we chilling, you know what I'm saying, talking to the bartenders, talking to models and all that. We cooling. So such and such and such and such go up to the stage, their set is done. Another artist goes up to the stage, their set is done. We start making our way to the stage, and they call somebody else. So now I'm a little bit irritated. I'm like, all right, this isn't going the way he said it was going to go. Let me go ask him. So I goes up to the DJ booth, and I'm like, yo, like I thought we were supposed to go on stage now, right? He was like, no, I said when such and such and such and such go on stage and they finish, then it's one more act, and then it's y'all. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It was a misunderstanding. All right, bet. So I calms back down. Mind you, I'm still kind of baked off of this K2. It's probably been, I want to say like 30, 45 minutes. I'm still feeling in K2. But the K2 has a very, very different feeling from being high on THC. Like THC, you are mellow. K2 is like you're mad irritable for like nothing. Like it could be perfect weather and you just mad. All right, so bang. So such and such and such and such goes to the stage. They get done. Another artist goes to the stage. They get done. Now it's supposed to be us. We start making our way to the stage. They call somebody else. So now I'm mad, right? So my body language is a little bit different. And just to give you a little bit of background, I'm 5'5". I'm kind of light skinned. I got big brown eyes. I don't look intimidating at all. I do not look scary. But these hands work like they got a 9 to 5 apiece. When I was a kid, I took taekwondo, I took judo, I did boxing. So I know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? I kind of had to, based on growing up in Baltimore. You light skinned, you pretty, whatever. That ain't got nothing to do with it. So I walks up to the DJ booth and I'm like, yo, the fuck? Like, yo, come talk to me in VIP, yo. So he walks with me to VIP. And I'm like, yo, you said we was going on stage after that act just got off stage. What's going on? He just started basing on me like bad. Like, I don't know where all of this energy came from, right? But yo, like, you didn't bring nobody to the show. You didn't bring nobody through the door. You not getting on stage. And that's it. I'm not even mad about that. Why did you lie to me? Like, if you didn't want me to go on stage, you could have just said that. And I would have still came, I would have still chilled. Everything would have still been fine. But now I'm irritated. Why did you lie to me outside? So, after I ask him this, right? He does the absolute most disrespectful thing you can do to another adult. Mid-sentence, while I'm talking, this dude turns his back, walks away. Walks completely out of the VIP room. And I look at my man and I'm like, yo, he didn't just do that, did he? Everybody stuck. They like, yo, like, I never seen nobody do that to you before. Like, this is crazy to me. So I hit the door. Boom. I grab his arm. I spin him around. Like, yo, don't ever fucking walk away from me when I'm talking to you. Now, let me paint this picture. The dude that I grabbed and spun around is probably like 6'3", 240. This is not a small guy, right? Grabs his arm, spins him around. Boom. Yo, don't fucking walk away from me when I'm talking to you? I told you from the day I met you a year ago, I am not no sucker. Do not play with me. He raises his hands. He grabs my shirt. Like, he wraps his hands around my neck. And, like, his nails is, like, mad long. Like, he do bumps off every finger. He grabs me around my neck, right? Tries to push me up against the wall in the club. Now, mind you, I can fight. So I don't know what I did, but I took one step and I grabbed his arm, pulled it, and he fell under the bar. Now, I'm already mad, but I was not planning on this shit to go that far. So when I grabbed him and he fell under the bar, I'm like holding his shirt. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, y'all really gotta punch this dude. I really don't want to. So I throw like a half-ass right hand at the top of his head. Pop. When I hit this dude, sorry for that sound. That was my Logitech wheel calibrating down. I put my PlayStation in rest mode. But anyway, so I throw this half-ass right hand. Pop. Hit him in his head, right? Opened up a cut on his forehead. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do it. So when I see him bleeding, I'm like, okay, I think I made my point. I'm going to try to get away from this situation because now he's already embarrassed and he's bleeding. I don't want to hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get away from him. He like grabbing my legs. Come here. So he got my leg like in like a single leg takedown type deal. I yanked my leg out. My homeboy grabs me. He picks me up. They drag me into the kitchen of the club. He hits the door. He grabbed me by my shoulders and he like, yo, this is not how we do business. And I was like, yo, he broke my favorite rosary, dog. Fuck him. Like, very calmly, just like that. Yo, he broke my favorite rosary, my nigga. Fuck this dude. So I'm standing back there. Security comes back there. And I was a frequent at this club because I was signed to that label. I was doing every event they had there. So I would be there probably like 4 times a month every weekend. So the security guard gets back there and he looks shocked. Like, what? You? The dude that's friends with everybody in here. You the one I got called back here for? So he walks over to me. He like, yo, is you good? I'm like, yeah, yo, I'm fine. My bad for making you work on a Friday night. This was not a part of the plan. So the dude that I punched, my manager, somehow, some way, he gets free. He hits the kitchen door. Where you at? Soon as he sees me, he calms all the way down. Like, soon as he saw me, like, his body language just switched straight up. Like, he was about to front, like, he was still mad, but he couldn't find me. But when he seen me just standing there, like, nonchalant, like, yo, if you want a round 2, I give it to you. Like, I'm going to just embarrass you. I don't want to hurt you. But I am going to lay these hands on you and get up out of here smooth. You know what I'm saying? So, once he hits the door and he calms down and I'm like, yo, I told you from day one, do not play with me like I'm a child. I'm not no sucker. You not going to play with my career, dog. Like, I'm not with it. So security walks me out. I apologize to security again. Yo, my bad. Yo, I ain't mean to make you work on a Friday night. This shit's supposed to be easy. You know what I'm saying? So, just in case this dude wanted smoke, I stood in the parking lot for probably an hour. I'm like, if he come out here and he still want to talk about it, I'm going to give him the beats. And, yeah, that was pretty much it. He never came outside. All of the models came outside like, oh my God, you was in a fight. He ripped his shirt. This was a brand new shirt that I had just got the night that I went to the club. I was so fucking mad, like it was a company shirt. It was wavy and it was like screen printed, but it was like reflective foil print, which was like brand new at the time. So I had like silver letters on my shit. He ripped my shirt. I was hot. But anyway, man, that's the end of the story. That was the time when I had to beat my manager up. And it's probably going to be a whole lot more stories from this situation. But yeah, man, if you fuck with the story, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share that shit, tell somebody about that shit. Yeah, man, the footage is just me dicking around playing Outbreak. My PSN is Giovanni Code. If you want to play PlayStation with me, I play GT7. I play Call of Duty. I repeat, I do not play 2K in any way, shape, or form. So don't invite me to no 2K games. I don't have Elden Ring. Yeah, man. But anyway, man, it's Star Giovanni signing out, talking about when I had to put hands on my manager. So yeah, man, that was Rapper Story 1. We out. Make sure you stay tuned. More stories coming soon. Peace.